Alright, I know everyone already did a video on these guys, but I'm going to do one anyway, alright? Because I didn't review the sister location ones. So, I'm going to review this wave. So, yeah, so we got the new FNaF6 figures. These are at GameStop right now. They might be at other stores, I don't really know, but I know for sure they're at GameStop. I found the entire set there, as did other people. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 regular ones to show you, and then 1 Build-A-Figure. So I'm going to go over these individually. I'm going to start with possibly the most accurate of just the normal figures. Pig Patch. Yeah, he looks really, really cool. Like, honestly, I would say this is probably the most accurate one in the entire set. Now, most of these are very, very accurate. I'll point out the things that aren't accurate. I'll point out the things that are. This dude, honestly, I've been looking at him. There's really nothing I can say that's inaccurate. Maybe the only thing is the joints are black, and I'm pretty sure they should just be gray. But I'm not going to diss the joints because I know they need certain amounts of plastic and certain types of plastic to make these guys look good. So, honestly, really, I don't think there's anything wrong with the joints. So, yeah, really, literally, as far as the figure goes, maybe there's a few colors off on this. But other than that, this dude... He looks spot on. He looks perfect. His mouth is a little bit open, like really far, and I know that's how he looks in the game, but it looks a little weird, just the black block in his mouth. But I know there's nothing they can do about that. I know it's just a $10 figure, so it's not like they're gonna go to all this lengths to make it perfect. One thing is there's a few paint smudges. If you look on his eye there's a little bit of white. Also, the light green kind of makes the other eye look small. It's kind of weird. And there's just a few paint smudges every now and then, like on the teeth and... Other than that, he's got his belly button, he's got his little curly pigtail, and he's got his his shorts or pants on. He looks really good, guys. The bottom of his feet are lighter pink than the rest, which looks really nice. And here's him. He can stand up perfectly. There's him. There's Toy Froakie in the back. He can stand perfectly there if you really wanted to. He can hold the guitar. It's kind of hard to get it to stay, but you kind of have to just use this arm to push it against his waist, because it will sometimes fall out of this arm. I don't know how it's balancing like that right now, but you can get it to balance in his arm. There we go. Yeah, so there's Pig Patch. Who should I grab next? Let's see. I think we're going to go with Rockstar Foxy next. This dude, I'd say he's one of my least favorites in this set. I really do like Rockstar Foxy as a character. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. He looks good. But, there's just, I don't know, something's off about him. When you compare these two next to each other, he just looks way smaller. And I know on camera it's kind of hard to tell, but literally, like, from the side, look at him from the side, he's much smaller. He's a very skinny figure. He has the bird, which is nice, his little parrot's on the side there. It doesn't come off, and I wouldn't recommend pulling on it, you might break it. This is the only limb that seems to pop off a lot, is his peg leg. He's a little bit harder to balance because of it, but if you get him in the right position, which I cannot seem to do, hold on, there we go, we got him to balance. You kind of have to lean him forward though, and that's disappointing, but whatever. As long as he's leaning against something, like if you lean him against the back of this, he stands just fine. Yeah, the peg leg keeps coming off, so I'm just going to leave that off. I don't really know what else to say about him. They can both turn at their waists. I forgot to say about Pig Patch. The waist can turn. As usual, the heads and everything can turn. All the normal joints. They still fall apart a little bit. That is concerning. But, yeah. Hand turns. Something interesting is they actually made the hook turn. I remember with Nightmare and normal Foxy, the hooks did not turn, which is nice. And I think the reason they made it turn is so that he could hold his... little accordion here with the piano on the end and everything. I forget, I think that's just what a normal accordion looks like, but here you go. So you can hook that in there, and he can actually hold on to it. It's pretty hard to get him to balance with it, but if he leans against something, he looks pretty good. Now, here are the few things I don't like about him. The colors to me seem off. Like the pink on here seems off, and so does the muzzle. It seems to blend in too much with the normal red. I feel like they should have made it stand out a little more. Also, the eyebrows, to me, I don't think they should have made him look angry. I think they just should have made him with a different expression. I don't like the angry expression. Other than that, he looks pretty good. He looks really good. He's got gold teeth. There's not really too many paint smears. The gold on the big gold star looks nice. All of it looks good. So yeah, I would say he's pretty accurate too, aside from just a few color errors and just he looks a little too angry. So there's them together. Moving on to Rockstar Freddy here. He comes to the microphone. Let me slip that in there. The microphones are progressively looking more and more natural in the hands. I don't know if you guys remember, but the Wave 1, when you put the microphones in the hands, it looked like that, and it looked very weird. These now sit perfectly inside the fingers, and it looks natural. There's a few things about him that I like and I dislike. One thing I really like is that they actually put the little shoulder joints on top on the body instead of on the arm, so you can actually bend the arm up more. With Foxy, his shoulder joint things are like shoulder pads are on the arm, so you can't bend it up as high because of that. But with Freddy, like I said, his shoulder joints are on the body, so this has way more potential for moving. You can make him waving all the way up here. You can hold his mic. You can he can dance and everything. Oh, and he's dead. He looks really good, guys. There's a few, again, I'll go over the few things that are off, and the few things that I like. I like a lot of it. Most of it's good. Hand can turn, as usual. None of the joints seem to be too loose. This hand's a little bit loose, but it's not heavy enough to actually fall off or anything. The ears are kind of rubbery, which is weird, but I guess it makes them less breakable, which is good. The muzzle, everything looks good around here. The star has a little bit of paint smudges on there. One thing I really like is how they made the hat and the bow tie metallic. They're actually metallic purple, and the microphone is metallic on there. I really do like the metallic. I think it adds a nice touch. He looks very plasticky. I mean, granted, he's actually made of plastic, but compared to Wave 1 and Sister Location, he looks like very, very shiny, and I like that. I think it was a good job. A few more things. I know there was a few more things. Waist can turn. I like that they're making the waist turns now. The feet look good. All of it looks good. They actually painted the toes a slightly different shade. The joints are all good. Nothing seems to fall apart like it did in Wave 1. And, of course, he can stand just fine with his other friends here. And Foxy's dead. So, let's go on to El Chip now. This one is... I don't know. I like him. At the same time... I don't know, something about him, he just seems off. First, let's just talk about the good stuff, like I said. Waist can turn, perfect, awesome, all the way around, do 360s. I wouldn't do it too much though, you don't want to loosen it. Again, he's got the shoulder pads on the body here, so a little more room to pose. You can move the arms all the way up like that, and it looks more natural. The printing's really nice in the stomach and stuff. The printing's nice on the face. There's not too many errors. One thing that's kind of weird is that, so the eyelids on the top do stick out a little bit. Like if you look here, they stick out, and they painted the bottom of the eyelids white. So when you look at him from this angle, he looks a lot more surprised than he does like this. Like if you look at him like that, he looks bored. If you look at him like that, I feel like they should have painted the bottom of the eyelids the same brown color. There's a few paint smudges on El Chip's cheeks. His teeth have a little bit of orange on them. I don't know. I like how the ears are like printed into, or like they're like made into the hat. It would be cool if they made the hat detachable, although I know that would look weird. He's got one arm in this position and one in the normal position, just so he can hold his little guitar. Where'd that go? Here we go. I forget what the technical term of the guitar is, so I don't want to attempt to say it and then sound racist or anything. I don't remember what it's called. If anyone in the comments wants to tell me what it's called, feel free to tell me. I'll pin your comment, because I don't remember what it's called. So yeah, he looks pretty good. Posability and everything looks good. He's really smooth and shiny. The tail it's good. It looks weird to me. It makes it look like he has like a big cape. I know he's just meant to have that. I know he's a beaver. But I don't know, it looks weird to me. He just looks very big. He looks clunky. He looks a lot thicker. Now that I'm looking at him, it looks like his body might be the exact same as Freddy's, just no star or bow tie, which is interesting to note. But he does look good. His shape is weird. I know I'm just not used to like the chipper shape, but usually I'm like with the Freddy shape. But, you know, he looks weird, but he's a good figure. He is accurate nonetheless, despite a few printing errors. I'm kind of questioning why they made El Chip and they didn't make, like, Funtime Chica, or they didn't make, like, Rockstar Bonnie. Rockstar Bonnie would have sold pretty well. But nonetheless, there is El Chip. Let me put Foxy back. Come on, Foxy, don't do this to me. Come on. Okay, there we go. So, we've got 4 of the normal ones. Now, let's go to possibly... Oh, man. This dude, I don't even know what to say. Just look at him. Just look at him, okay? I like Orville as a character. I think his voice is great. I think everything he says is great, but I don't know what's wrong with this one. Something's wrong with his eyes, guys, okay? He can't decide which direction to look in, you know? If you cover one eye, it's like, okay, he's looking over there. Just kidding, he's looking both ways. I don't know what to think. The printing, on the other hand, on this guy is substantially good. The paint job, I'm saying. By the way, if all you guys are wondering what I mean by printing, I mean the paint job. I know this isn't technically printing, but yeah, I'm used to calling it that. His hand is super loose. Carson had this same problem, so I feel like it's just a design choice for whatever reason. You could probably pull his hand out of there if you really wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it because it'll break it, but his hand is super loose. The rest of the joints are not. He doesn't have the shoulder pads because the mediocres don't have those. Waist can turn. It's super loose as well. Legs, everything's good. The feet are different. They look cool, though. They're nicely printed and everything. He can hold his little magician's wand or baton thing pretty well. You can pull the rabbit out of the hat. It looks pretty good. I will say, this actually, I'm surprised this actually fits in the hand and doesn't fall out. Yeah, he looks good. The printing on the teeth, I don't see any black smudges or white smudges. The trunk looks really nice. The hat, again, it looks good. The flower, everything. Head has a lot of posability. He's a big figure, guys. He's big compared to these guys. I just don't understand what they did with his eyes. If they had just moved the calculation of, like, the numbers, I know they put in numbers and everything to calculate how far apart to print these on. If they had just moved it over, like less than a centimeter, it would have looked a little bit more normal. Come on, Funko, come on. But I'm not going to complain. He still looks good, even though he looks like he's trying to, you know, look at 2 sides of the room at once. Whatever. All right, yeah. So, the last thing, as we all know, each wave of these figures actually has a Build-A-Figure that comes with it. And if you don't know what it is, it's just a figure that you put together. Like, one character will come with each piece of the figure, and that is Scrap Baby this time. Oh man, this figure awesome. Now, I will go over the things I like, and I will go over the things I don't like, because there are some things I don't like. Let me first say, she looks really good. She looks awesome. Look at how cool. Look at how cool this looks, guys. She looks cool. She looks scary. She looks like she does from the game. Yeah, her waist turns. Normal can turn all the way around. I'm not sure if I put the legs on the right way. I was too lazy to look it up. So if the legs are on the wrong way, just tell me and I'll put them on the other way, because I know that they could very easily go on a different way. Although I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be. The claw, all of it looks good. Some things I don't like. If you look, they put in, like, the little wires that are going across here, they put, like, pieces of black inside the wires when there should just be an opening there. I understand why they did it, just so those don't break, but I don't know. It looks kind of weird. I probably would have rather have had a breakable figure. One thing they didn't do, and they didn't do this with the regular baby figure as well, they didn't put the little pins. She's supposed to have little pins all over her. They didn't put those on, which I understand. Again, they could break. People could choke on them. Understandable. Have a good day. I get it. The hand, look at how cool this hand looks. That's freaky looking. That's a big robot hand. That looks cool. Claw looks awesome. The claw looks a little weird to me. I always thought that the bigger part of the claw was on top, but I guess this is how it looks. So, yeah, that surprised me, but I don't know. I guess just in the game, it kind of changes. Her chest looks good. The little, like, stage light things, those look good. The fan, everything. Obviously, there's not as much detail here as there actually is in the game, but, you know, I understand. It's a $10 figure. What can you expect? The hair looks really good. There's, like, no printing errors on here. There's a few smudges every now and then, but other than that, it looks really nice. I mean, look at how cool. Like, look at how smooth, and, oh, it just looks so cool. The back looks really cool. I keep saying cool, but, you know, I'm not wrong. They look cool. It's cool. The spine, there, I guess, like, the robotic spine is showing through there. She's got the little, like, shoulder pads. She's got them on her waist, too. And there's, like, a big split here. I know that's in the game, but it's just, I don't know, it's kind of weird to me. It makes sense, though. I feel like Scott should have split it in the back, too, just so it was, like, little hip covers instead of, like, a rip. Because it's kind of weird that there's, like, a perfect rip down the middle. That just weirds me out. Like, it just seems too perfect. Aside from that, she's got the little tiara on, little metal tiara. That looks nice. Her face, though. There are a few flaws. Again, I really love this figure, but there are a few things that they could have done. This faceplate here, this big one, is supposed to be a little more grayish blue, as are a few other ones. Like, it's supposed to be the color of the eyelids there. The eyes look good. The nose, everything looks good. The colors are just a little bit off. She shouldn't be completely white. There should be some blue and some green and some rotting, and it looks fine either way. The cheek, you can see, is a little bit printed oddly, like it's kind of coming off there. It's kind of painted to the side. It's weird. But I didn't just notice that until now, so it wasn't really a noticeable detail anyway, so I don't really care. Now, the only big problem I have with this baby is that Maso had this problem too, in that getting the head on is like the most impossible thing you'll ever try to do. Getting the head on this figure is the hardest thing you will ever try to do. I was sitting there for at least an hour trying to screw this thing on without breaking it. I ended up breaking part of it. You can see that the head, it comes off, like it stays like that. I'm lucky that I didn't fully break it off. I know Maso got that part fully off. But I started to break, and I'm like, you know what? It's breaking. I just pushed as hard as I could, and eventually it slid on. It doesn't pop on easily. It doesn't go on easily like Ennard's does. And that's what annoys me. The Springtrap Build-A-Figure, the head and the body were one piece. Sorry, I'm fixing this guy. The head and the body were one piece. They weren't separate. Same with Nightmare on and same with Ennard. But this time, they made the head a separate piece, and so that it doesn't always fit on the body. And that's what was incredibly hard to get off. I could not get the head back on, or I mean on in general. So I might... Eventually, I might rebuy whatever. I forget which figures came with which, but I might rebuy the one that came with the body and the one that came with the head just to try to see if I can get them together better. Yeah, guys, this figure, it looks incredibly awesome. It looks really cool, but getting the head on is the hardest thing you will ever try to do. SMF had the problem, Super Mario Freddy had the problem, and so did Maso, and so did I, so I assume other people did too. Funko, if you're watching this, I love these figures. They're great. I say they're the most accurate set you've made so far, along with Sister Location, but you gotta fix the thing with the head, alright? Don't have this head be separate. Keep it as one piece together in the thing, because then it'll already be built. It won't break when you try to build it, and it'll be fine. Yeah, guys, other than that, though, really, these are, like, my favorite set they've released so far. The Sister Location figures are close second, but these just look so good. I really hope they do a part 2 to FNaF6, because there's so many more characters they could do. They could do the rest of the mediocres, they could do the rest of the rock stars, they could do more salvages. You know, honestly, I would accept it. If they wanted to do 2 more waves of these guys, if they wanted to do 1 wave, they could do Rockstar Bonnie, Rockstar Chica, they could do Nudbear, Pig Patch, or no, not Pig Patch, sorry, Mr. Hippo, and Happy Frog. That's the rest of the rock stars, and that's the rest of the mediocres. And then the Build-A-Figure for the 6th one could be Molten Freddy or Scrap Trap, one of those 2. You know? And then if they wanted to do a last wave, they could do Funtime Chica. What else have they not done? They could do Funtime Chica. They could try doing Music Man. I don't know if that'd work. I guess there's not many. I'm trying to think of ways they could do it. I don't know. I know Lefty's coming out soon. I'm going to try to get Lefty when he comes out and review him. But for now, we've got these guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Which is your favorite one? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, sorry for the lack of uploads. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to get back to daily videos soon. Yeah. Peace out, guys.